Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Thursday. Welcome to Game Day Live, presented by the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network and the Primetime Radio Studios, along with Ann Crew Brew. My name is Vinnie Parise, and I am here with Shorts Guy, and we are happy to get you set for New Jersey Devils hockey as they take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Welcome to all fans watching on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch. The Devils looking for a huge win over their Metropolitan Division rivals. Shocked that this is their first time playing this season, coming in late January. But here we are, the Carolina Hurricanes. Shorts Guy, how we doing?
Doing good, Vinny. So I definitely don't pay much attention to anything, and I was just looking at the schedule I have printed out in front of me, and I'm thinking, oh crap, we have like maybe 15 minutes. The game doesn't start till 7:30.
Yeah,
I should pay more attention to things. So yeah, it is the first time we're seeing Carolina. I was looking at the schedule otherwise because I feel like we're going to see a lot of Metro Division over the next couple weeks. Like we got Carolina tonight in February. We've got just looking real quick, 1, 2, 3 Metro Division games in February. There's a couple more in March and April. Looks like they're getting some of these Metro Division. We seem to be playing teams like the Hurricanes and the Rangers later and later in the season. So this seems to be the trend with the league.
Yeah, those were the top 3 teams in the Metro last year. I'm sure there is some purposefulness with that. They've kind of played a lot of their games against the Blue Jackets already. The Flyers they've played a couple times. The Washington Capitals they played the Caps at least 3 times, right? I'm pretty sure they played the Caps at least 3 times. I'm sure they have one more.
At least, yeah.
Yeah,
they do have one more coming up.
Yeah.
I saw it somewhere. February. There's one more February.
Yeah, there you go. And so the Hurricanes and Rangers are those teams that are going to present the biggest test, you would think, down the stretch. But tonight you're playing these Carolina Hurricanes. Now, with a couple of the things going on with the lineup and all that, with Michael McLeod and Cal Foote being out, you're going to have to look for other guys to step into these roles and, fulfill the lineup, and got to have people out there playing. It's next man up mentality. We're having Dawson Mercer come over to play center. I think that's kind of been like the big storyline with him over the last couple of days. And, they've made they called up the DeSimone guy from Calgary to play defense. They called up Daniil Misul. I think that's how you say it. I actually don't know how you say it at all whatsoever.
I don't know how to say it either. I was reading it today going, it's going to be tough tonight.
Yeah, and we've been following him for a long time. I know exactly who he is. I'm even confident. Pronunciation Sam, ready to go.
I've anglophoned it to Daniel Missile.
Oh, okay.
Daniel Missile.
That's definitely not how it's pronounced, but I
Belarusian like rocket.
The Belarusian rocket. Okay.
Yep.
I'm cool with that. And, also Justin Dowling coming up. He's got 90 games played under his belt. We know Nico Dawes is the starter in practice. Meyer was stuck with Heischer and Bratt. Love that top line. It's a heavy loaded top line. But Andre Palat is back, and he's going to be playing with Mercer and Toffoli on the second line. Lazar, Halla, Bastian, third line. One of Dowling or Willman on the fourth line with Tierney and Holtz. It's going to be interesting to see how this new look forward group kind of coexists with each other. Even Andre Palat, he hasn't played since December 30th. This is his first game of the calendar year. What are your thoughts on the whole thing?
It was good to see him back in the lineup today, and I read his name, and I know I read it earlier, and I was like, oh, he's Palat's on the line today, blah blah blah, and I'm like, wait, Palat's on the line? Palat's back? It's good to see him coming back because we've had all these players out for so long. To see one come back, it's awesome. And I love seeing him back, and I have nothing but high hopes for him coming into this lineup because this team needs something to spark it. I say this every podcast, but we have to win. We have to win tonight, and Palat brings that winning mentality.
Yep, and of course the Carolina Hurricanes are the team that defeated the New Jersey Devils in the postseason last year. I believe it was Jesper Fast who got the tip in overtime to give Carolina the win. If the Devils would have won that game, Like, if they would have had that shot that went in, which is certainly always possible, it goes to Game 6 in Newark, right? Like, and then who knows what happens if that's the case in Game 6? You force Game 7, and you never know what happens in a Game 7. It ended up not being the case. Carolina was deeper, a little bit smarter, a little more playoff battle tested. I mean, they've been in the conference finals 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row, they haven't won a single game. They got swept both times, but which is crazy. They haven't gotten a single win. But this Devils defense, it's young. I mean, I'm looking right now. I see Hataka, who he kind of had a pretty good first game with the Devils. I did not hate what I saw from him against the Vegas Golden Knights. He was a return I believe he was a return in the Timo Meier trade. And then, of course, Kevin Ball, Nemitz, Hughes, all young guys. It's going to be interesting to see how they play in front of the young netminder Nico Daws tonight.
Yeah, these guys have an opportunity to prove to the coaching staff that they belong here, that they should stay here. So it's it's something that they they should take this opportunity and basically play as best they can. They don't play too scared, don't play too nervous. Go out there and just kind of relax and play your game and earn your spot on this lineup, because eventually all these injuries, all these players will come back, and these spots and these openings will go away. And you've got to prove that you have to be the one to stay up versus someone else, which I did see. Speaking of injuries, if I'm not mistaken, I saw that they finally activated Dougie on the LTIR list today. So that frees up like what, 8.5, 9 million for us to use. And I 9. So that could be something forthcoming. And then we had Kevin Weeks post something with, one of his rumor tweets, talking about a goalie or a defenseman and the New Jersey Devils. So we'll see what happens. And, now, we've got that money available. And I think now is that, in case of emergency, break glass moment. And they've got to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm very much looking forward to this game. I think it's a big test. Like, if you get a win here and you beat Carolina, who played last night. I watched a fair amount of the game against the Bruins. They had a 2-0 lead.
I saw some of it too.
They blew it. Brad Marchand, 2 goals in the third period. And then who else in the third period but Jordan Martinook, who torched the Devils in the playoffs last year. He was their leading scorer in that series. But they're on the second half of a back-to-back. The Devils are fresh. Now, the Devils are the ones who struggle in the second half of back-to-backs, but hopefully just being in the presence of such a stinky back-to-back team will make the Hurricanes, suffer a little bit. If the Devils get a win here tonight and Philly beats Detroit, the Devils will be in a playoff spot. And it's weird. Are you rooting for Philly so the Devils could be in a playoff spot, or are you rooting for the Devils to catch the Metro teams? Well, if the Devils, you see it with Edmonton. If you just win your games and continue winning your games, you'll find your way into the playoffs. It doesn't matter what other teams do. We're schedule watching. It was nice a couple nights ago when every team that the Devils needed to lose in regulation did. It was Tuesday night. Washington, the Islanders, the Red Wings, and there was one other team. Did I say the Capitals? No, I said the Capitals.
Yes.
There was one other team.
Washington. You said Washington, Detroit, Islanders.
Philly. They lost to Tampa. That was the type of game where you hope it just doesn't go to overtime. I feel that way about the Detroit Philly game tonight too. Just don't go to overtime. Like, whatever you do, just don't. Like, if someone wins, that's great. If someone's gonna win, just make it a 2-point game, not a 3-point game. But you take care of your business, you'll be in the dance. I'm very certain of that. But, when you play against a team like the Hurricanes, it's always going to be tough. They're probably in their head a little bit. They beat them last year. It was tight and contentious in the regular season last year, I remember. And Carolina started a different goaltender every single time the Devils saw them. But, it's the type of game you really, like, if you can't get up for this one, and at least you might not win. Both teams are going to get up for it. There's no doubt about it. But, like, if it's one of those games like you have a showing like you did against Dallas last Saturday, then it's like, what are we even doing here? That's not a playoff team. But hopefully these guys can rally around each other and remember what happened last year and some of the things that have gone on throughout this entire season. Get behind one another. Jack's coming back the second the All-Star break is over. I do believe that. There's rumors he might play in the All-Star game, or he's at first certainly going to be the captain and help Quinn pick teams. So, you'll get him back. You know how he changes the lineup entirely. Put your best foot forward and go get a big win against the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, especially because this is, one of those 4-point games with a Metro Division team. That this could be a really big deal come down the stretch in March and April. So we want to get these points now because we're going to see Carolina at least a couple times more going forward. So get these points now. I mean, I'm looking at the schedule. I see CAR 2 other times, once in February, once in March, and I'm probably missing another one there. But get these points tonight. And yeah, Jack, I believe the same as you. He'll be back after the All-Star break. I can see him being in the skills comp. I hope. Who knows if he's going to be on the bench, if he's going to play in the All-Star game. If he does, just go out there, skate light, have a good time, but be ready to come back and play, some big games post the All-Star game, starting with Colorado on the 6th of February. But grab these points now. Take it to Carolina today. Take it to them hard and come out with 2 points and come back home, or actually probably continue down 95, even though they're flying, and go to Tampa Bay with 2 points, pick up a point or two there in Tampa Bay, and we're looking pretty good going into this, into this break. It's going to be well over a week, so that they can have some confidence and something to work with, come the beginning of February.
Absolutely. You're getting a compliment on your hat in the chat.
Ooh.
I couldn't agree more. Very nice hat.
Yeah, they're super limited to 2. One I screwed up and one was right, and I wear the one that was right.
Very, very good. Those are really, really cool. Are you a little annoyed that we are here 7:04 Eastern on January 25th? No Stadium Series jerseys.
Yes. Yes and no. I'll say yes and no. Yes, because I want to see it. No, because I'm really afraid that they're going to look like garbage. Because I have no trust. I have zero faith. I have no trust in anyone that designs any of these jerseys. Example A, the All-Star jersey. They look awful. It's... How about you? I can't articulate anymore.
They remind me, did you play Pokemon Go when it was popular?
I did not. My brother did, but I did not.
You picked your team, yellow, blue, and red. And like the whole game was like based around like what team you were on. And like the All-Star jerseys remind me of like Pokemon Go. Like which team are you on? Are you on Team Valor? Team Mystic? I forget the yellow team. But, that's just me trying to be funny and, make a joke. Bieber designed them.
Ugh.
Kids love Bieber. Like, if kids go and watch the All-Star game, okay, fine. If that's going to make more kids like hockey, having these nasty jerseys designed by Bieber, and Justin Bieber, Austin Matthews, and Morgan Riley picking for Team Blue at the All-Star game in Toronto, if that's going to make more kids, if that's going to create the next McDavid, who is a Toronto native or GTA native, then I'm all for it. It's a kids event. I'm sure 10-year-olds love the jerseys. They're very trendy.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not one of them. As soon as those jerseys came out, I was like, ugh. I'm glad I bought last year's. I happily bought last year's. But I think that's the one and only All-Star jersey I own, if I'm not mistaken. But
I have.
Yeah.
It's actually my brother's, but I've worn it. I think I've worn it on the show. I might have worn it on the other show. The All-Star jersey that Corey Schneider wore in Nashville. It was like country music themed. It was like yellow and black and white. They're not that cool. I particularly, I don't adore any All-Star jersey. I think most of them have been crop over the last 10 years or so. I liked it back in the old days, like when you Google the jerseys that like Wayne Gretzky wore. And I'm not trying. I'm not the old man yelling at a cloud. I'm 29 years old. I wasn't even around. I've just seen pictures.
The old Campbell Conference jerseys.
Yeah, like that.
The black, white, and orange Campbell Conference jerseys. Yeah, those were some good ones. That's what I got last year's because it was a throwback to the ones from the late 90s. The Eastern Conference, Western Conference ones. The ones that like Brodeur wore similar design to this one years ago. Plus, I just
Yep.
like the black, white, and the pink trim. I just thought that was really, really sharp. I wasn't a fan of the numbering and lettering that I got from purchasing an expensive jersey from NHL.com. You think that they could spring for the extra nicer lettering, but I guess I should count my lucky stars that the name came, upright and spelled correctly, and the numbers were somewhat centered. So I guess I got to take what I get from NHL.com and Fanatics, which are
Absolutely. I saw
terrible.
a picture. I saw a picture of someone bought a Marner jersey, but it had Matthews' number. I'm like, Fanatics really does. They really do make a ton of mistakes, don't they?
They do, but that's because they're pushing quantity, not quality.
Yep.
And when you're heat pressing and doing that a lot, mistakes happen. It's just a matter of, do you catch it before it goes out the door? That's really where the fault lies, is not catching it before it goes out the door. And
Yep.
that's a whole other issue with their quality control. If they're doing that, and I've seen other things too, it's just not right. So that's why I actually reached out to another company that I purchased this jersey from, to see if they're offering the Stadium Series jerseys, because this company does actual not hand stitching. Well, they do offer hand stitching, but they offer stitched, with the machine, and they offer hand stitched, I think it is too. I'd much rather have a stitched name, personalized number, than the heat pressed crap from Fanatics.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Well, hopefully they come out soon. Hopefully they're nice. I mean,
That's what I hope.
even if they're not, we'll like them on the ice when we're at the game, I'm sure.
And
But
I'll
like,
probably buy one just because.
yeah, you'll be at the
Yes.
game, right? Like,
Yeah, I'll be at the
you'll be
game.
you'll remember it forever because we're doing our show. I'll be there. It'll be your first time. You'll look at that jersey 5 years from now and be like, that's my first time ever meeting Vinnie Parise in person.
That's true. Hey, by the way, how do people find out about our tailgate?
You know how they find out about our tailgate, Shorts Guy? You go to joinourcrew.com and you sign up. We're not taking any of your money. We're not taking any of your information. The only bit of information we need is your name and your email address. That way, we could say, hello, so-and-so. Thank you for going to joinourcrew.com. Here are details about our tailgate as they are presented to us as the NHL releases more information as time goes on. Are we just as annoyed?
I gotta interrupt. Not only your email, but your phone number, because text messages will come in handy at the Meadowlands when there's no
game
internet.
day.
Yeah.
Yep, on game day. Absolutely. You're going to want those text messages saying, hey, come see Sam Wu, Vinnie Parise, Shorts Guy, whoever else, Nick Villano,
Absolutely.
Beer Baron, Scotty. You want to see the whole Let's Go Devils podcast crew in all their glory at the same time for the first time ever? You're going to want to get these text messages. You go to joinourcrew.com. It is a big day.
It's going to be a big day.
Or there are pocket cookies at the Meadowlands in parking lot J19. Get them while they're hot from Paul Marino.
Oh, Paul Marino's pocket cookies.
There you go. That's
man.
another reason to go to joinourcrew.com and sign up.
Yeah.
You just got to do it, and we'll be
pocket
there.
Cookies, and it's going to be it's going to be wild. Plus, have a beverage with us. Have a beverage with us at our tailgate.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a good time.
Looking forward. I'm looking.
Yeah, we're going to need a couple beverages to stay warm that day.
Yes, we are. It's going to be chilly. It's not going to be that. I'm probably going to be fine because I'm coming from Chicago, and I'm sure we got a balmy
day for you.
Yeah, it's going to be. Oh, I'm going swimming. I'm going swimming in New Jersey. I'm going in the lake or in the ocean. I'll be close to the ocean.
I'll go with you. I'll jump in the ocean with you.
I'm not normally close to the ocean. I've only been in the ocean once in my whole life.
Vinny, you can swim in the Meadowlands in the swamp.
Ugh.
All right. I mean, if you guaranteed me the Devils would win, and all I had to do was jump in the swamp, I would absolutely do it. It wouldn't.
I guarantee they will win.
Sam is guaranteeing they're going to beat the Philadelphia Flyers. Going to be very interesting to see how that goes. Shorts Guy, you know what time it is?
What time is it, Vinny?
It is time. You thought I was gonna say predictions. I'm gonna break out the And Crew Brew. And Crew Brew. Join our crew today. Drink And Crew Brew, where we make winning memories together, one crew at a time. You will get to try And Crew Brew if you go to American Whiskey and just ask them for it. Say, hey, let me get an And Crew Brew. They're gonna charge you for it because it's beer. But guess what? You're going to get to try And Crew Brew. You could actually try it in one of those big, tall things, the towers with the gold light on the top. Real cool. You can't get Miller Lite. You can't get Coors Light. You can only get And Crew Brew in one of those at American Whiskey. The game against the Kings on February 15th, the home game against the Kings, the game before the Stadium Series. You could catch me at American Whiskey drinking And Crew Brew out of a tower. That will be my first time ever trying it. So very much looking forward to that. I don't know if I'm going in the game.
You know what, Vin? I'll join you with the Tower of And Crew Brew, and we'll find a way into the game. How about that? We'll find a way into the game.
I'm going to have a lot of people with me. Like, I don't know about a lot of people, but we'll figure it out. We might need to go into the game. I've never seen the Devils' red jerseys in person. They only wear white in Chicago at the United Center. And then last year, the one game I went to, it was reverse retro night. I've never even heard the real goal horn because they played the throwback goal horn because it was throwback night. I've never heard the real goal. Watch, they're going to get shut out by the Kings.
Yeah, we have to find. Yeah, if you're going to be there at American Whiskey, which I'll be there at American Whiskey as well. We're going to have to find a way into that game because it just makes sense for us to go into that game.
It really, really does. Well, make sure you go to American Whiskey every day and drink And Crew Brew, specifically on the 15th against the Los Angeles Kings. Looking forward to meeting each and every one of you, especially the tailgate as well. Go to joinourcrew.com. And while you're at it, when you're done going to joinourcrew.com, flip over to YouTube, put your predictions in the chat. Shorts guy, what is going to happen tonight in the game between the New Jersey Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes?
Just refresh me. Nico Dawes is playing tonight?
Nico Dawes is in net.
Okay. Nico Dawes, we've got a very young, and we say this every week, we say this every game, but it's gotten younger and younger and younger. We've got a very young and experienced defensive core. We got Nico Dawes in net, so Nico Dawes is going to have a hell of a game in front of him tonight. But then again, Nico Dawes is used to these. So this may be a benefit. Nico Dawes is used to these young guys because he's played with them in Utica. The only problem is they were playing against AHL level players while he was playing with this core. So this could be a potential positive that Nico Dawes is comfortable with these guys in front of him since he's played with them quite often in Utica. That being said, I still think it's going to be a tough game. We're going to go 4-3 to our New Jersey Devils.
4-3 for the New Jersey Devils. New rule. Unless the Devils are under 500, I'm not reading Carolina Hurricane winner predictions or opposing team winner predictions out loud on the YouTube chat. If the Devils are under 500, I will read them out there. I predicted the Devils to lose just about 2 seasons ago. Ask Sam. I predicted them to win, and every game I'm like, why are you making yourself look like an idiot? Like, they suck. They're terrible. Pick the other team. But I don't think I've picked them to lose since the last game of last season, or of 2 seasons ago, I should say. But I'm going on the positive side. Steve Engel says 4-3 Canes. I lied right off the bat. I lied, and I read Steve Engel's prediction. I said Steve Engel's prediction. That was the last one. It was just the first one I read, and I thought it was going to be 4-3 Devils. So it was after I said his name that I realized what he put, and I was like, "Oh, you idiot! You complete idiot!" Joseph says 6-3 Devils. Select the Boy says 4-3 Devils. Tom says 4-3 Devils. 4-3 Devils all over the place. JP says 4-2 Devils. Timo time, he nets 2. Ramona says 5-1 Devils. SST
don't
says
read the next one. Don't.
No,
don't.
No, not reading it. But he says fire Fitzy. What do you mean? He just got a contract extension because of how good he's been. You don't like Lindy Ruff. Yeah. Okay. I can hear that argument. I don't fully agree. I don't fully disagree.
I just saw SST's next message in the chat. I think he's trying to screw with you.
Yep. Good call. It's easy to I'm a passionate guy. I like everyone. People hate me. There are people on X or on YouTube that hate me. I don't hate them. I'm just trying to have a good time. I'm trying to be entertaining, and hopefully it works. Zach says
I can't
SST smells. What a funny,
I can't wait to do this
what
with.
a funny
I
comment.
cannot wait to do game day live in person with you, Vinny. It's going to be a ton of fun.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Daryl says 6-4 Devs. He's naming every player hitting the score sheet. Toffoli, Timo, and Holtz on the score sheet. Oh, not the only players because that's impossible. But those are three
Unless they all have a
specific
brace.
ones.
Unless those three have a brace.
Yeah, exactly. The insane Polak says, Steven, you wonder why you get blocked. That's very funny. I like Steve Engel. He's funny. He's in every chat. Game Notes fan too. I'm a big Game Notes fan. Zach W says 4-2 Devils. Yeah, that's it. That's all the predictions that are in there.
That's
Sam Wu though, he has his prediction. He believes the Devils are going to win 5-3. So I don't know if he's thinking the 4-3 game with the empty netter or if they're just going to win by 2, but he's got the 5-3 New Jersey Devils victory. As for myself, I think this is going to be a high-scoring affair. I think both teams are going to trade some chances early in the game, and they are going to score a lot of goals early, and then it'll tighten up late. I got a 5-4 New Jersey Devils victory over the Carolina Hurricanes. Hopefully it's a little less sloppy of a game overall than the one against the Vegas Golden Knights, although there's not really that much of a difference between 5-4 and 6-4 or 6-5, I mean. But, you know, it is what it is. Did you see after the game, Bruce Cassidy, Butch, he said it was a Bush League game? I don't know if that was an insult to the Devils or his own team or both.
Game.
Yeah,
I feel like
I'm just
he was going after his team, but yeah, it was a back and forth game. He did say it was like a beer league game. I've been in beer league games like that where it's just like no team. It seems like teams that neither team wants to win. They want to give the game away. It's like, here you go, take another goal. Oh crap, we scored again. Here, take another goal back. Yeah. It's
awesome.
Those were great comments. He was pissed though. He was legitimately pissed off.
Absolutely. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the show today. I'm in a great mood. I'm very excited for this game. I'll be even more excited for next game because I'll know that as soon as I hang up on the show on Saturday, not only will I get to watch the Devils take on, I'm drawing a blank on who they play. Tampa Bay. That's right. It is Tampa. Not only will I be watching that, I'll be watching BU play BC, and that is one of the best. And they're 1-2. They're 1-2 in the rankings. They've never met 1-2 ever in the history of college hockey. They've never met as team 1-2, and they have this game. They're going to play in the Bean Pot in a couple weeks, and then they could meet in the national championship in May or April, whatever it is. I cannot wait for that game. I'm going to be just as locked in on BU BC as I am Devils Tampa. It's going to be like even keel. I just literally can't wait. Watch college hockey. And follow all of us on Twitter.
And it's sold out too. I read something that this is the first time that both of these games with these teams and with the 1 and 2 rankings are sold out. And college games don't cost a lot. I know that for a fact when I was playing and going to college games. The secondary market for these tickets is near $200 a piece.
It's amazing.
That is
it's bad. It sucks like for people who are going to spend that, but like hell yeah, hockey baby.
Yeah, hockey. I just from my experience of playing it and going to college games, I love college hockey games. Like the atmosphere couldn't be better. And I got to say, Vin, I won't go too deep into it, but the best atmosphere I ever played in or played against, been at the rink for, University of Maine.
Wow.
University of Maine.
I like to hear that. I like to hear that.
Wild.
Love that. I know a certain producer / co-host of ours is going to rip on you and say, how dare you not say Penn State is the #1 atmosphere in college hockey.
They just got a program. They got their program after I was out of college.
That's true. That is true. They got a good one going.
Still no excuse though. Still no excuse. You should have follow the club team?
Club hockey is college hockey, as John Bucci would say.
At one point, they had this. They had this real scrappy player that just was unappealing to me. Can't remember his name. Something Woo. Something. I can't remember. Just wasn't appealing to me.
That's funny. That is funny. Well, I hope everybody enjoys the game today. Enjoy BUBC. They play Friday too, and then on Saturday again. They're doing a home and home. Make sure you watch all the hockey you possibly can. You will be a more informed hockey fan when you come watch the Let's Go Devils podcast. Go to joinourcrew.com, sign up, get information on the outdoor game. We are super excited to join each and every one of you. Go to joinourcrew.com, drink and crew brew at American Whiskey. Follow Shorts Guy on Twitter. Follow Sam on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Follow at Let's Go Devils Pod. We can't wait to hear from you. And as always, let's go Devils.